Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at Shadow Malamar in the Open Great League. We're going to have some battles here. I did some test battles before the Great League actually comes around. Great League is going to be available when you see this video as well. But I'm going to be asleep. And so, yeah, today we're going to take a look at some battles with my Shadow Malamar. And I built a special one. We're going to have Great League now available for us for the rest of the season. Plus, now we're going to have a nice special event where you're going to be able to get extra Stardust and you can do up to 100 battles a day in the current meta, which is absolutely amazing because like this is going to be the easiest time, or like the best time for you to hit a legend or whatever rank you desire, as Great League is going to be back here and you can do so many battles. This is going to be an amazing team to run already, I can tell you that. Well, also I kind of want to talk about my Malamar, because my Malamar is a special Malamar. My Malamar is not going to run the normal IV spread that you would see usually. You see here on the right side a 15-6-0 Malamar, as far as I know. I don't see them at the right side, but I think that is my IV spread. And you might wonder, why would you go for something like this? There are two reasons. The first reason is I only got 4 Shadow Inks, I think, throughout the event. I didn't really have a lot of time to play, sadly. And those 4, I didn't really get the greatest PvP IVs. But the more important reason is that actually those are the best PvP IVs, kinda. Actually, in the 2-shield scenario, I think this is a better Pokemon to run with the IV spread that I have compared to the rank 1 moveset. And this is all down to Psywave, and this is the main reason why you want to have a bit of an attack investment on your Malamar. And this really matters basically here, the IV spread, with the fast move of Psywave. The main benefit of running the Shadow Malamar is the Psywave spam. Psywave, a fast move that does 3 damage per use, which is really great, generates 4 energy per use as well, which is even better. But like, you have a lot of fast move pressure, you have stab on top of it, and as soon as you hit a breakpoint, in long run, it makes a ginormous difference. And here is where basically my IV spread is coming in clutch. I'm just checked here as well on the side that a 0-15-9 Shadow Malamar wins in the 1-shot scenario 21 matchups, loses 22 and has 2 draws. My 15-6-0 Malamar has 26 wins and 19 losses, which is, yeah, plus 5 wins, which is ridiculous, like for having a worse IV spread. And it's down to the breakpoints. My Malamar here has breakpoints against Annihilate, against the Galarian Corsair, against Emolga, against Lostheart, against the Lapras, against the Skeledirge, as well as against the Talonflame. Of course, on the other side, we're going to have a lot of bulk points that we are missing. For example, Zimro, we're going to be able to take more damage than a normal one would do. And there are quite a lot of other Pokemon as well. There are more Pokemon that have actually a breakpoint against us than, yeah, we have breakpoints against them. But generally speaking, it just allows you to flip some matchups that you usually wouldn't be able to win, thanks to the extra damage of the fast move of Psywave. That's the thing as well, it is just more important a lot of times to have a Psywave breaking a getting basically 1 extra fast move damage in, than for example an Incinerate, because if an Incinerate gets 1 extra fast move damage in, it's going to be every 5 turns. Here it's every single turn. And so yeah, we're gonna commentate now the video here a bit more as well on the battles. We had some interesting battles coming up here already, and now we're gonna start right into this one here. We don't have a team here, by the way. Our Sableye is our Say Swap. It can be also the Malamar Say Swap. Both of them are very solid Say Swaps in the current meta. You're going to see here, the opponent is going to have their Guzzlord. They have to be a bit mindful that I have Dazzling Gleam, but I don't have Dazzling Gleam. I have Power Gem. I like Power Gem more. I think it's a better move to go for, but I can see if people disagree with that. Like, both of them are totally fine. You're going to be able to go into our Clotseye here, where we're going to be able to take a hit. We can go for our own charge move. It's going to be the Sludge Bomb, but they can catch it onto their ground type, onto their Claydol. And this is totally fine, as we have Foul Play, and we outspeed them. And so we will see here already, we have the shield coming up from the opponent. We're going to be able to go for a shield as well again. And actually, funnily enough, Claydol does a bit more damage than they would usually do against us because of the way our bulk is, yeah, shown there. But also what we don't see on PvP Poke all the time is that some charge moves do a little bit more damage as well. For example, here maybe the Foul Play did more, but we see already on how overpowered this type of Malamar is, which is ridiculous. So yeah, here we see Shadow Malamar against us, which is cool. We're going to have a really bad lead though, so I have to swap out straight away into my Sableye. We're going to have the exact same pacing as basically the fast move of them, the Psywave, is going to be a clone of our fast move, the Shadow Claw, but just as a 1-turn move instead of a 2-turn move, but we do the same amount of damage per turn and generate the same amount of energy per turn. So yeah. Here we're gonna see that we're gonna either get the shield from the opponent or getting the KO with that foul play from the Sableye. We're gonna get the KO. If they want to go back into their Malamar, I would be happy with it, but they decided to go into their Dusclops. That's where we kind of would have liked to have our Sableye with a bit more HP. I decided to go into my Malamar and look at the fast move pressure. We're gonna be able to catch the move here as well, which is needed. But they can still, of course, go into their own Malamar now, which is gonna be a bit of an issue. We can still go for Sludge Bomb spam, which is cool. They go for their own charge move. That should put us kind of into a very low health range, which is fine because then they can farm us, but hopefully they don't get too much energy. We will be able to go for the Sludge Bomb here, get the shield. I am barely missing out on another one. We need one more fast move. And with that, this game is kind of over. Don't think there's really anything that I can do here. We see that a foul play does more than 50% damage against us. So that means that this foul play should be enough to knock them out as well. And we will see here that we have now still our Malamar against the Dusclops. It's still going to be very close though, as he's going to be able to use a shield against the opponent. This is going to be a Shadow Punch coming up, and we get them to very low HP, but we lost the lead. We kind of lost the matchup, but that is fine. We nearly came back from that. Next up, Credilli. That is going to be a matchup where we're going to be able to stay in. We can go for those Sludge Bombs. I go for Sludge Bomb, but just because it's better fast move timing. You don't need to go for that, but they have to go for Grass anyway if they want to do damage against us. So just in case they would have wanted to go for something like the bait here, the Rock Tomb, I'm just gonna go for the Sludge Bomb early on so they cannot debuff me in time. Now I can go for the Earthquake, and this should leave them on farm down range. They still get to another Grass Knot here, but we're gonna be able to win that first lead matchup, which is gonna be great, as now Credilli is gonna be gone from that battle. Let's see what's coming in next. It's going to be the Pidgeot, and I go into the wrong Pokemon here. I go into my Sableye, which is a huge mistake. But to be fair, I'm still going to be able to go for the foul play spam, and I would still get to another move in time before they could farm me down. But they decided to go for the Air Cutter here to knock me out. I respect the Shadow Pidgeot. If you haven't seen my video earlier about the best teams for me from the season, Pidgeot has one of the teams there as well. Definitely give that Pokemon a try. It's so good with the Air Cutter. And we're gonna see more Peko coming in. That's going to be such a bad matchup for us. I don't like that. But anyway, we still have to kind of play around here. I hope that I can catch our Aura Wheel. I cannot. But what I can is I can go for a Sludge Bomb against this Pokemon, which allows me to get actually a ton of damage onto them. So as long as we're going to be able to farm them down afterwards, we're going to be kind of fine. But can we farm them down is the question. We have our Malamar, we do some double resisted Psywave damage, but because Psywave is such a hard-hitting fast move, we might be able to do still enough to knock them out, and with that, we're gonna be able to go for the full Fountain against the Pidgeot as well and get the KO. Next up, Jumpluff in the lead. That's going to be a very nice lead for us. We like this a lot when we're gonna see the Lapras coming in. Maybe go over to my other Pokemon, but actually, here we triple resist the fast move, so they don't have any fast move pressure. They go for Sparkling Area, and we are going to be able to have the same pacing as the opponent. They have also Psywave, but we're going to be able to do some super effective damage with the Superpower. They have no way of realigning here, which is perfect, and I'm going to be able to even get up to another charge move before I have to go for another Superpower, basically. We're just barely out of it. I could have actually went up to the Superpower directly, but as you'll see here, we're gonna be able to get the KO against the opponent. We can align ourselves. We have the Jumpluff coming back in here. We're gonna be able to get some damage onto them as well, which is great because it might put them into range for just one Sludge Bomb as they reveal that they have Marowak in the back. And this is going to be a bit tricky. We have a bit of lag there as well during those first few battles that I did. I don't know why, but like the first few were laggy. Afterwards, everything was totally fine. But as you see here, we're going to be able to go ahead and let the Shield move up here, get the Bone Club onto us though as well still, but they should be now in range for an Earthquake. And I stayed in for a bit with my lead in the beginning, so I have a bit of energy. You see a bit of lag here still, like this is one of the early battles I did with this team. Of course, they're now in the middle of the video somewhere, but that was one of the first ones that I did. But as you see here, Sludge Bomb is going to perfectly put them into the range where I can fully farm them down. I have to farm them down. I'm fairly certain they're one fast move away from getting to another charge move with their Marowak, and hopefully the Earthquake is going to be enough. I'm basically fairly certain here that this is going to be enough to knock them out and we can win the battle again. Next up, we have Dusclops in the lead. Horrible lead for us. We should swap actually into Malamar, and I decided to do exactly this now. Malamar's coming in, they swap out into the Tinkaton, and honestly it's better for us because we actually have some coverage with Superpower. That is kinda cool. I hope that I can realign later on, but I'm not too sure about it. As you will see, we get some damage onto them, and we will be able to, shield up the move. It's going to be the play rough. I can go for another Superpower here. And they are very likely losing the CMP, like the advantage here. And yeah, they're going to now be aligned the way I want them to be aligned, which is going to be great because I need to have the Dusclops against my Sableye in order to have a chance of winning this battle. And so I can now go ahead and go into my Clodsire. They can go for the Surf if they want to, but they catch the move onto the Dusclops. Great play from them. I actually don't care. The thing is here, I get the damage onto them. I can go into my Sableye. I don't actually really need to even like keep energy or anything like this. I think my play against the Tapu Fini is at this point to get them just low with my fast move pressure. So I don't really need charge move pressure, and they decided to let the move go, and I think it was a mistake from them. I can still go for charge moves here because they have a 1-turn fast move. You don't really lose out on too much here. But as you see here, they're gonna go for their own charge move on a CMP tile, which is great that we actually then went for the charge move. They're going for the Surf, they're going for the undercharge as well, but it doesn't help them because we have still our Clodsire. I can use a shield here just in case it Surf does more than I expect. I don't think even a Surf knocks us out here, but they don't have enough energy to get into anything else. And good game to my opponent, and we can move on to the next one. Shadow Malamar again, and they swap out straight away into Diggersby. One thing as well here, at this minute mark, I just want to say thanks to all of my opponents today. Again, I really appreciate when you do like those friendly battles. If I ask for friendly battles, it's mainly on Twitter, sometimes I ask on YouTube as well, but mainly on Twitter, so like follow me there if you want to be included in those videos here as well. But also maybe activate like the notification feature there, because I usually delete those posts like when I have enough battles. So like whoever comes first, of course, gets into the video. Anyway, we're going to see here Diggersby, and we are actually able to kind of align ourselves properly, which is kind of interesting because I did not expect that whatsoever. But it's going to be great. We're going to see here the boulders coming in. It's going to get the attack drop onto us, but we can go for the Earthquake against the opponent next. It's going to be fine. We can let this move. Okay, it's going to bulldoze here again for us. We're going to be able to get them kind of low with that. I don't think it actually knocks them, does it? It's super effective, but they're so bulky, it doesn't knock them out. And we can get some energy here. I take the energy. I think I'm just going to let this go and swap out into my Malamar, because I know they have their own Malamar. I know I can get an energy advantage, but they swap out at the same time, so yeah, that's that. But they're already lower than I am, so I wonder if we have like a breakpoint against the opponent's IV spread and they don't have one against ours, but I don't know. But still, again, this Malamar IV spread is special. This Malamar IV spread is amazing. There might be better ones though. There might be definitely better ones for like certain attack breakpoints. There could be like some certain one where you only need a tiny bit of attack in order to get those breakpoints, and you can invest a bit more into your defense. But I have the highest attack kind of possible here, which is kind of hilarious. And this Pokemon performs like crazy. Where again, it doesn't really matter the IVs here for this Pokemon a lot of times. Not for every Pokemon that is the case, a lot of times it does matter, but for Pokemon that are more used as an offensive pressure Pokemon, IVs are not as important as, for example, for a bulky Pokemon. Sadly here, the opponent was able to catch a move from my Malamar, which kinda allows them now to win the battle, I think. I don't think I'm going to be able to win this one. So yeah, good game to the opponent. We can go for the foul play here. Oh wait, we have a Such Bomb. Never mind, good game, we win. And we can move on. Actually, I thought I would lose here. And we can move on to the final one for the day. If you want to support the channel, by the way, as well, leave a like on the video. That really helps me out. It helps out a ton. And I hope you have a great time in the Great League. This is, again, a very solid team to run. I'm most likely going to take a look at Malamar again in different teams. I can't see myself not having more fun with this Pokemon because, honestly, it is so much fun to run. I would really recommend you to give this Pokemon a try. It is such a good Pokemon to go for. Anyway, as you can see here, we have the Clodsire, we have our Drapion, the opponent's Drapion. We're gonna have to take those Awkward Tails because we're already kind of behind in this battle. We have to see what we're gonna do here. We have the Earthquake coming through, we're gonna get the KO. We have at least a shield advantage, but we know that we have to swap out straight away. They're gonna go for a charge move here. And that's good because we have to kind of get rid of the ground types here with our Malamar. They go into the Credilli, which is fine, as you can go for the Superpower, but it's not a great matchup generally speaking. I know that they still survive a move, and they gonna shield up the first one anyway. I guess if I went for the bait, it could have been cool, but we have to kind of catch a move or something. I can still go for another superpower just before they get to the next charge move, and I hope I can swap out afterwards. And they still should be locked in then as well, which they are. So they're gonna go for the charge move here. I can get some extra energy. I think they can swap out afterwards though, and I have to hope they still get to another move. I can still get to another Earthquake, but as you're gonna see here, I don't think it's going to be enough. It's barely not enough, and so I can farm them down. Malamar does just so much damage, it is ridiculous. And with that, we are going to be able to get the KO against the opponent's Cordeli. Hopefully, you enjoyed the showcase. I definitely did. Shadow Malamar is overpowered and you want some attack investment on this Pokemon. Absolutely, it's the best way you play this Pokemon, with a bit of an attack investment. But yeah, I will see you then.